Hello everybody, my name is Hafri Shah from paulson.org, and as usual when you see this face, you expect to see a car. This time though it's a bit different because that's my own car, Mercedes-Benz C300 AMG Line. I've had this car for about a year now, just over 13 months or so. So this is a long-term review of the W205 Mercedes-Benz C-Class. So what's the car like to own? What's the ownership cost like? How much does it cost to run this car? So this will be a good reference for those who are looking to buy a brand new C-Class, a W205 version especially. Back when it was new, this car cost 309,000 ringgit, and I got this car on a 3-year Mercedes-Benz Agility financing campaign. So on a 15% down payment, I'm paying about just below 4,000 ringgit per month for a car like this. Whereas if I were to get a classic financing, your normal bank loans, with the same terms, 3 years, 15% down payment, I'd be paying almost double, over 7,500 ringgit per month. So for Mercedes-Benz, this thing called Agility financing is really good for you to basically buy a better car than what you normally can afford. Of course, you shouldn't really buy above what you can afford, but in this case, hey, you get a nicer car, why not? BMW also offers something similar in BMW financing, as well as Mini. So it's not something unique to Mercedes-Benz. Anyway, I get asked this question a lot. Why did I buy a Mercedes-Benz C-Class? Why didn't I buy a 3 Series? Why didn't I buy an A4? Well, it's a mixture of quite a few things. The brand, the looks, the feel inside. Myself, I am quite a bit of I'm a bit superficial when it comes to cars. My other car is a Peugeot 208 GTI, and I know for a fact the Fiesta ST is a much better driver's car. It's more fun to drive. But here, the 208 GTI it looks better in my opinion. It has a much better interior, so that sold it for me. Same thing here. The BMW 3 Series is definitely the better driver's car. Has better handling, has better ride. Don't get me wrong, this car has a lot of good things, but dynamically the 3 Series is just the better car. But when it comes to looks, C-Class wins hands down, at least for me. Anyway, take a closer look. This is the AMG Line. So the full bumper is very, very sporty. If you look down there, there's this wide chrome line down there, down the bumper. The grille is unique to the AMG Line and the Avant-Garde version. If you buy the exclusive, the C200 exclusive, you get the traditional Mercedes-Benz radiator grille. I quite like that look. But of course, overall, if you compare the Avant-Garde, the AMG Line and the exclusive, this is my favorite because it fits the full car the best. Mercedes-Benz owners are getting younger and younger. They want their cars to be more sporty, and this fits the bill. Down the side, this is the C300 wheels, 19-inch AMG multi-spoke alloys. They are slightly bigger than the C250's 18 inches. Those are a simpler 5-spoke design. It's bigger, so it looks better. It fills up the wheel arch gap slightly nicer. But at the same time, it also makes the tires a bit thinner. And this, of course, will affect the handling in a good way because there's slightly less flex in the tires, but it will affect your ride comfort in a negative way. Another side effect of having very large wheels, other than a slightly worse ride, is that there's less give in the tires, so it's more susceptible to damage. The last time I sent this car for a service, the maintenance guy said, "Hey, dude, your front left wheel is a bit bent, so we recommend that you change to a new wheel." That's 4,000 ringgit right there. Yeah, so it can cost a lot of money. The tires, I haven't changed anything yet, but just for fun, I asked my tire guy how much a full set would cost. The guy said, you don't really want to know the cost of the full set, so he'll just tell me the cost of individual tires. One tire costs 1,500 ringgit each for the front. Rear tires, they are wider. Because this is an AMG staggered setup, the rears will be closer to 2,000 ringgit per tire. Yeah, so add everything up, that's 3,000 in front, 4,000 at the back, you're looking at 7,000 ringgit for a full change of tires alone. If you look down here, looks lower down to the side here, you'll see that this comes with an AMG Line diffuser. This one, it's normal that it's black, but it's only black here because the whole body and the whole car is black. If you bought the car in white, this piece will be in white as well. Can you imagine having blue diffuser? Nah, I don't like it that much. Well, anyway, one thing that's unique to the C300 are the exhausts. It gets its very own sport exhaust, but it's tied specifically to the Sport Plus driving mode. So if I'm driving in comfort mode or eco mode, I cannot turn the sport exhaust by itself. It doesn't work that way. This is one of the very noisy Malaysian drivers. The boot. It's fairly wide at 475 litres of space. That's actually 5 litres less than what you get in a BMW 3 Series. But overall, it is the more practical option because in the 3 Series, you cannot fold the rear seats down. This one you can, so loading long items, it's all good. You also get an underfloor storage. It's quite deep here. One more thing that I like about this car is this basket. It comes like that, but you just have to lift it up and then fold this down, and then it makes a portable basket. So if you go shopping, have anything wet or things you don't want to roll around your boot, put it there and it holds it in place really nicely. Once you're done, fold it back down and it slots right underneath your boot floor. This original wiper blades that I got from the service center, guess how much they cost? 100 ringgit, 200, 320 ringgit for a set of wipers. Alright, let's just move on. Like I said, I've owned the car for about a year now. I've done 12,000 kilometers on it. So I've just done one service. That cost me just over 1,200 ringgit. It's a fair bit higher than if you buy a Japanese car, for instance. But when it comes to German premium cars, that's about on par with other brands. It's not higher, it's not lower than comparable brands. Alright, anyway, let's just jump in. I'll show you the interior. And this is one of the biggest reasons why I chose this car over the 3 Series. So there you go. This is the interior of the C-Class. I've had the car for a year, nothing's fallen off yet, so quality in that sense is fine. There's a sense of very high quality in here. That's probably what captured me the most when I first got into the car. If you look down here, everything you can touch, everything you can feel, it feels very premium. Not very long ago, you would need something like an S-Class or a very high-end Audi to get this sort of quality feeling. Something that feels as luxurious, as premium as this. Down here you get very nice metal look finish to the buttons, and down here a slightly small piano black finish with a nice analog clock. One thing that I do like about the car is this wood finish. It looks very nice, but this involves a little bit of luck. I've seen certain wood finish that like this that has a very horrible, very ugly pattern. I was quite lucky in this sense, but I got a nice wavy horizontal pattern. But at the same time, and if you look to the right on my door card, it's a similar looking pattern, right? It's just nice horizontal stripes. But if you look on the left side, on the left door, yeah, it's something different altogether. So yeah, it's a bit random. It'll be nice if I can go to the showroom and pick and point. I want that right door, I want that left door, so everything matches together. But you can't. So whatever is given to you, that's yours. You have to live with it. But anyway, still on the wood. If you look down here, the wood looks very, very nice. But if you've been in the one of the later A4s, you start feeling that you know the quality isn't that great, because you start knocking on things and it's a little bit thin, a little bit flimsy, a little bit cheap. And there are quite a few other parts in the cabin that can feel cheap as well. If you look down here, this is where the ambient lighting comes out from. This car you can choose between 3 colors, white, amber or blue. So the light appears down there. The problem is this plastic part down here. If you start tapping on it, yeah, it's a bit cheap. But that's just me. That's just me being a motoring journalist, me being very, very picky when it comes to my own cars. I think most people, when they go to a showroom, they'll just touch the major touch points: the door card, the door handles, the dashboard, center console, everything. And in that sense, this car, everything checks out. It's only when you go into very, very close details, small details, that you start to find slightly subpar materials. Overall, it's still better than what you find in a BMW 3 Series. Not just a little bit, it's actually a big margin. It's much, much better. Alright, anyway, if you look down there, this is the primary control input for the system. This is called the Mercedes-Benz Command, with a single M. I don't know why. Yeah, Germans can't spell, I suppose. This is the rotary dial. That you'll be very familiar with this if you've been in a Mercedes-Benz over the past 10 years or so. It's a rotary dial. You spin it left and right. You control everything that's on the screen. You want to click on it, you just press down to register an input. There's also a back button here and a favorites button on the right side. This favorite button, if I click on it, go to the screen, this is something that you can customize. You can set whatever you want to have on this favorite screen. You can change the order, you can change what appears and what doesn't. Alright, back to the controls. If you don't want to use the rotary dial, you can also use this. This is a touchpad. This is where you can input commands. You can swipe left, swipe right, or tap, click down to press. There's also a back button here and also a favorites button. It's the same as using that. It's just a completely alternative way of inputting your own commands. But to be honest, I've had the car for a year. I've never ever used this. This is probably the first time I'm trying to use this. And nope, I don't like it. I'll probably stick to the dial from now on. And in another reason is the only purpose you would actually use the handwriting recognition down there is for you to input addresses for the onboard navigation system. This car does have onboard navigation. If you look there is a map, and it's a decent map. It's fairly accurate. But when was the last time you actually used your onboard navigation system? Me, never. If I need navigation, if I need guidance to where I need to go, I'll use my phone. I'll use my handphone. I'll use Google Maps. I'll use Waze. I never ever use this. This is supposed to show what your car looks like, but no, my car doesn't look like that, because that's the standard avant-garde look. Why couldn't they just change that to show the full AMG line model like this car is? This is a same problem that's carried across the entire Mercedes-Benz range, the S-Class, the GLA, the E-Class, whatever. This screen always shows the basic look of the car. It doesn't follow your exact specs. And this is not limited to just Mercedes-Benz. I took a 5 Series, the new 5 Series last week, the BMW, and even that has this problem. The model that I took was an M Sport, but the version on the screen is the standard model, non-M Sport. This is the Mercedes-Benz Drive Select knob, or otherwise known as a column shifter. This is something that'll be very alien if you're not used to a Mercedes-Benz over the past 10 years or so. But having lived with it, I think within about a week of driving this car, you get very used to it. It becomes very naturally. You press the brakes, you push it down for drive, you push it up for reverse. Just press that button for park. And I found myself driving the BMW last week, and every time I come to a stop, I'll turn the knob on the right, and then I operate the wipers instead of what I was expecting, because that car had a traditional gear knob instead. Alright, back down to the steering wheel. Like I said before, the touch points are all very, very high quality. This is finished in nice Napa leather. It's very smooth. This is a step up from all the rest of the leather that you find in the car. The top of the dashboard, the door cards, and even the seats are using something that Mercedes-Benz called Artico leather. Artico leather means it's artificial leather. It's not genuine leather. But the one they use around the steering wheel is genuine. Comes off a cow somewhere. I don't know. It's very nice, very supple. But at the same time, after like a year of use, it starts to get a little bit shiny. If you look up close, when the car was new, this was a very nice matte black. Had a nice matte black finish, but just you can start to see that everything is getting a bit shiny. I'll have to send this for a wash, for a treatment or something very, very soon. And the same goes for the seat upholstery as well. The thing that I like the most, the red seats. Yeah, I'm just gonna get out at the moment. It's supposed to be bright red. If you look up there at the headrest, it's supposed to be cranberry red finish, but sat here for a year and you can start to see that there are dark spots everywhere. Yeah. That's not really my sitting position. I pushed it slightly back for the shoot, so my own sitting position will be slightly further forward, and there, as you can see, there's a decent amount of legroom, but decent is just decent. It's not great. The BMW 3 Series, the Audi A4 especially, has slightly more legroom. The worst part is the seat here. The seat base is actually very, very shallow. So, you know how short I am? Not very tall. I'm under 170 centimeters actually. But even here, you can see that my thigh goes over the seat base. The seat base is actually very, very short. So for tall people especially, this will feel very uncomfortable. And even headroom can be a bit of a problem. This car has the panoramic full-length sunroof, so the glass will eat up a bit of the headroom here. Yeah, if I put my hair the usual spiky way, I'll be touching the roof a little bit. So headroom, not great. If you're very tall, you do not want to sit in the back here for very, very long. Okay, so that's about it for the interior of the C-Class. So now I'm gonna tell you how it drives and what are my comments on having driven this car for a year. Alright, let's get driving. Before I forget, you can't buy the C300 anymore in Malaysia. This model has been discontinued. It has been replaced by the plug-in hybrid models, the C350E. The closest one you can buy to a normal petrol engine C-Class, as close to this, is the C250 AMG Line. That one has got the same exterior, same interior, well, smaller wheels on the outside, like I said before, 18s instead of 19s, but the rest of it is pretty similar. Engine is slightly slower, of course. It's all a matter of tuning. It's the same engine, 2-litre turbo, 4-cylinder. This one is tuned to 245 horsepower, 370 Nm of torque, whereas the C250 has 211 horsepower and 350 Nm of torque. There's just slight difference in terms of performance as well. This one takes under 6 seconds to go to 100. That one is just over 6 seconds. Anyway, the bigger difference is the gearbox. This one uses the old 7-speed automatic 7G-tronic. But if you buy the latest, the newest C250 or even the 180 and the 200, they all come with the newer 9-speed 9G-tronic. Mercedes 9G-tronic compared to this one, it's a bit smoother, it's a bit faster to respond, but if you're expecting big margins in terms of performance or fuel consumption, there's like almost zero difference, maybe 1-2%, not even 5%. Talking about fuel consumption, I drive this car almost like 90% in the city traffic because I live in Bangsa and the office is in PJ. It's just a very short commute. So it's, like I said, 90% traffic, and it drinks quite a lot of fuel. I'm averaging around 12 liters per 100 kilometers. And that's not even me being silly with the throttle pedal, just pressing full throttle all the way. It's just that the car is moving very, very slowly. My average speed, if I look at the odometer right here, 22 kilometers per hour. So most of the time I'm crawling in the jam, moving very, very slowly. But out on the open roads like this, I can exercise the engine a little bit, get up to three figure speeds. It's just 100 now, and the engine feels really, really fresh. 0 to 100, like I said, is done in 5.9 seconds. This car feels quicker, more performance compared to my other car, the 208 GTI, and that is a 200 horsepower hot hatch. This one feels much faster, but I did make the mistake of going to Genting Sempah, to Genting Highlands with my friend, driving this car instead of the GTI. Yeah, this car is not really built for that kind of hard driving, hard charging through the mountains. This car feels heavy. Going through the corners, the tighter ones especially, you can feel this car pushing against its tires. It's really fat tires, and there's really less fun factor compared to my other hot hatch. Anyway, the whole time just now I was talking, I was doing about 80 to 100 kilometers per hour, and I'm not sure if you can really hear, but there's a slight wind noise coming in through the windows. This car, I wouldn't say it's an issue per se, and it's not especially loud. The BMW 3 Series has even louder road noise and wind noise. This one, as far as road noise goes, you hear, you don't really hear that much. It's minimal, but wind noise you can hear a bit of rustling through the side mirrors around there. There is an option for laminated windows and windscreens for in international markets, but in Malaysia we don't get that. So I was told that if we had that option, it'll be quieter inside. But yeah, we don't get that. Anyway, like I said, it's not a major issue. It's definitely not a deal breaker. And in the BMW 3 Series, those noises are definitely louder. Okay, we've come to a stop, so I'm going to show you something that I really like about this car. This is, it's called the Air Balance. It's basically an in-car integrated perfume system. It's hidden in the dashboard. That's about it. This is the air freshener. This bottle costs about $400. So if you finish this, you go to the showroom, ask for a new one. That's 400 ringgit. Anyway, more on this car. The ride is actually very stiff. It's not what you expect from a Mercedes-Benz. You would expect Mercedes-Benz to be as soft as you would expect an S-Class to ride. You know, very, very soft, going through all the puddles without you feeling much. But no, that doesn't apply to the Mercedes-Benz C-Class, especially this AMG line. Why? Because the AMG line comes together with the sport suspension system, so the whole car rides lower and it's harder as well. That's supposed to give it extra bit of handling performance, but at the same time, this car, it doesn't handle as well as the 3 Series, and it rides worse. So in terms of dynamics, it's a lose-lose on both sides. Like I said at the start, if you're looking for the dynamically the best car to buy in this segment, it's the 3 Series, no contest. But I did not get the 3 Series because of the way this car looks, the way this car feels inside and all that. Anyway, if you get the lower C classes, the C180, the C200, those run on standard comfort suspension. They ride a bit higher, the bumps and all that. And at the top of the range, the C350E comes standard with Airmatic air suspension. That one takes it to a different level. That one has air suspension. Just a few years ago, that was reserved only for the S-Class, and then it went down to the E-Class, and now it's available on the C-Class as well. This one you can control the height. You press a button, the entire car lifts up. so you can clear larger bumps. You can go to harsher roads without scratching the bottom of your car. You can press another button, you can press sport, and then it stiffens up, goes a bit lower as well. Or if you want comfort, you press the comfort button, and yeah, you can really adapt to whatever roads you are on. That is very, very comfortable. A lot more comfortable than anything else in the class, the 3 Series, the A4, whatnot. But to me personally, this 300 with the sport suspension fits the feel of the car better, especially when everything looks so sporty on the outside, AMG body kit and all that. Once you're inside here, it has this D-shaped flat bottom steering wheel. The sport suspension fits the character of this car the most, I think. The real small little details that Mercedes gets really, really right. Like I said, all the touch points are high quality leather. The seats very comfortable, very supportive without being a bit too tight. The seats in the BMW 330i, the M Sport seats, are a bit tight. I'm also a little overweight, so the seat bolsters feel a little too tight. On this one, they feel just nice. The seat belt and this one, as you can see there, you can adjust the height. So for me, because I'm sitting very, very low, I can adjust it to the lowest position and it doesn't cut into my neck. On the 3 Series, there's no adjustment for the seat belt available, so where I prefer to sit, that level, the lowest position, this cuts into my neck a little bit. It's not very comfortable. So yeah, that's about it for the C-Class. So we're just about to reach our office, so we'll just park up. Overall, it's a very nice car. It does have quite a few imperfections, but all the good points are strong enough for me to at least overlook the small little problems. I'll have the car for another 2 years or so, so maybe we'll do more of this long-term reviews. Anyway, I gotta go back to work, gotta pay for the car. So this is me, Hafrishah from paultan.org. Thank you for watching.